This is the Ohio AgNet from the Voice You Know at the News You Trust studio, sponsored by BASF and Veltima Fungicide, the proven #1 for the toughest corn diseases with long-lasting residual, when you need to be confident your fungicide will perform. I'm Ty Higgins. Ritchie Brothers having a large auction tomorrow. Visit rbauction.com for complete details. And our next monthly check-in at Farm Credit Mid-America will be on Thursday. Tune in as we discuss the latest Farm Credit Mid-America news and updates. New and now at ohioagnet.com, Ohio farmers are increasingly turning to technology and data to improve both productivity and conservation efforts. A growing approach known as precision conservation is helping producers target where conservation practices can deliver the greatest environmental and economic return. Instead of treating every acre the same, farmers are using tools like yield maps, soil testing, and field data to identify lower performing areas that may be better suited for conservation practices. That can include practices like planting cover crops, installing filter strips, or converting less productive acres into conservation areas, helping reduce nutrient runoff while improving overall farm efficiency. The bottom line, by putting ag technology and field data to work, farmers are finding new ways to protect both their land and their bottom line. You can read more now at ohioagnet.com. We're feeding farmers this spring thanks to Ag Revolution and Paradise Energy Solutions. We'll be at this week's winning farm for the midday broadcast on Wednesday. If your farm would like lunch delivered to the field, visit ohioagnet.com/feedingfarmers to enter. How much cash does your farm or agribusiness have on hand? How much is not enough and how much is too much? Joel Penorwood has that story.
Keeping cash in reserve is one of the smartest financial moves an agribusiness can make. That's coming from Emily Zuver with Holbrook and Amanter, and the topic of one of our featured stories at ohioagnet.com today. She says reserve funds give farms breathing room to cover things like payroll, feed purchases, repairs, day-to-day operations, all without leaning on high-interest loans or personal savings. Some practical tips there. A common recommendation to keep 3 to 6 months of operating expenses in a liquid account, though larger expenses may need even more because of higher payroll costs, land leases, and equipment expenses. She also says seasonal income swings another major factor. Farms who often face periods where income slows but bills continue make those reserves especially important during those tight stretches. And of course, agriculture always carries unpredictability. So build cash reserves steadily over time, she says, even starting small if needed, and treating contributions to a reserve fund just like any other monthly bill. That full story online at ohioagnet.com with Emily Zuver with Holbrook and Amanter. For the Ohio AgNet, I'm Joel Penorwood reporting.
Thank you, Joel. Let's get a check of the forecast with Ryan Martin, brought to you by Seed Consultants. Simply better performance. Online at seedconsultants.com.
Beautiful weather here for the afternoon and evening and overnight. Good sunshine, clear skies tonight. We're watching a system come through the upper Midwest tomorrow that will eventually throw scattered showers in here tomorrow night through Wednesday. Right now penciling in 1/4 to 3/4 of an inch. Coverage 100% of Ohio. Cold air and cloud cover lingers for early Thursday. Warming late week. I'm Ryan Martin.
Ryan, thank you. Make sure and check out the new podcast at ohioagnet.com talking about the free Explore Ag Camps coming up this summer. And you'll hear what's hot and what's not on the farm equipment auction scene with Craig Von Stein with Dye Real Estate. That new podcast is online now at ohioagnet.com. We'll get a check of the markets and some news behind the numbers after this.
Every bushel you grow needs a market. That's why the Ohio Soybean Council is working to expand demand for Ohio soybeans around the world. Your checkoff supports international outreach, trade team visits, and putting Ohio soy in front of global buyers. By showcasing the quality, reliability, and value of Ohio soybeans, you can count on new opportunities and increased demand today and into the future. Visit soyohio.org to see all the ways your Ohio soybean checkoff is at work, expanding markets for your beans.
The way farmers get their information is expanding, and now there's a new dimension of farm news for the Buckeye State. Ohio AgNet TV. Learn from other farmers, see products and practices in action, and stay connected to what is happening both locally and nationally. Plus, watch expanded video coverage throughout the growing season and beyond with regular updates from the field and stories that highlight the people, issues, and innovations driving Ohio agriculture. Don't miss a moment. Subscribe now on YouTube by searching Ohio AgNet TV, where Ohio agriculture comes to life.
Welcome back to the Ohio AgNet. I'm Ty Higgins, and today's market analysis is brought to you by Louis Dreyfus Company. Excited to bring a brand new soybean crush facility to Upper Sandusky. Learn more about marketing your soybeans with LDC at 574-566-2113. Analysts expect the USDA on Tuesday to peg U.S. old crop ending stocks at 2.14 billion bushel for corn, slightly higher than the 2.1 billion bushel in the WASDE report in April. President Trump meets with Chinese leader Xi Jinping this week in a long-awaited trade summit to discuss soybean purchases and other ag products. USDA tomorrow expected to peg the U.S. 2026 soybean crop 4 to 5% larger than 2025. Markets are higher at midday. Corn for May up 4 3/4 at $4.61. December 4.96 3/4, 3 1/4 higher. May soybeans 8 cents to the plus side at 12.02 1/4. New crop November 11.96 up by 6 1/2, and wheat for July up 10 1/2 at 6.29 1/2. Markets brought to you by Seed Consultants. Simply better performance. Online at seedconsultants.com. June live cattle 110 higher at 2.50 even. May lean hogs 91.20 up 32, and August feeders down 2 cents at 3.6420. This is the Ohio AgNet.